Hi, everyone. It's Sue again from Wellness with Sue, YouTube video and my Wednesday Wellness weekly emails. And I was inspired today. I actually taught a class with essential oils on what I call muscle-centric movement, which is basically building muscle to enhance our brain health and our endocrine health. There's research being done about our muscles, looking at our muscles, not just for function, which of course that's important, but also for being the largest endocrine muscle or organ, we could say, in the entire body that systemically helps us have a healthy endocrine system and healthy brain. And I don't know anybody who doesn't want that. So some of the symptoms, if you will, of not having good muscle tone in your body, where it's doing this kind of support is maybe you don't sleep well, or maybe you have no energy. You just lack energy. You're kind of lethargic. Or maybe you have a lot of body aches and stiffness. And those are just a few of the things, right? There's a ton more. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is some creative ways of looking at using our muscles, stimulating this activity in a little different way. I come from a health and fitness background. I was a personal trainer for many, many years. I know the basics of squats and lunges and deadlifts and things of that nature. They're all very, very important. And so is being a little creative so that your body can work in a different way, because that's how we get more activity in the muscle, right? The stronger and the more viable you are, the more not only functionality you do have, but the better we can stave off some of these health issues in our culture, like diabetes and heart disease and, even Alzheimer's. There's a lot of research being done with this. But I love this idea of the organs being a gigantic, the muscles being a gigantic endocrine organ. I think that's just a fabulous way to look at strength training, building muscle in our body so that we can do the things we want to do. So I have this sort of creative Fab Five movements for the hips. This is specifically targeting hips and core. I did a workshop last year and I called them the Funky Hip series. So I'm just going to show them to you today. And then hopefully you can incorporate them a little bit into your workout strategy. And I have a few of these I want to do, like one for the upper body, another one for maybe stability and standing. But for now, let's do the hip one. Okay, so off we go. I'm going to go meet you over here. And I'm going to start on the floor. Okay. So you can see I don't have a mat, and I just have a big space. Moved the chair that was over here away so I had room. And I'm going to use these blocks later, so I'm going to have them all out of the way. Okay, so our come back to pose, if you will, is Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. So I want you to put your feet together. And some people like to hold their ankles, and some people like to hold their toes, and some people like to hook their feet. I don't really care what you do, as long as you're sitting up straight. And you're sitting on your sit bones, and you feel your spine's nice and long. And just check in with this whole hip movement, this external rotation of the hip. How does it feel? You might look like this with one leg up and one leg down. That's all right. Just sort of notice. Take a couple breaths here. And then our first movement is, again, really different. So I want you to lean over to your right hip and take this left leg back behind you in this, I call it zigzag pose. And I want your foot a little bit away from you with it resting on your ankle. This hip is off the floor, okay? So this is our first sort of action. This front leg is somewhere near your front leg. And then turn, kind of stay here for a minute and see what this twisting action feels like in your body. I want your hands a little bit away from you. And you're going to lower yourself down like you're going to do a push-up. So your elbows are going to move outward and your chest is going to move downward. And then you're going to push yourself away. Okay? How does that feel? Does that feel all right in your body? All right. And then the next time you go down, I want you to lift your back leg off the floor. Think about your back knee more than your foot, and then come back down and land. Lower, land. Knee comes up, 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 and lands. Lower, land. Keep thinking about your chest moving to the floor. Elbows move out to the side. Leg comes off the floor. Let's do one more. And rest. Good. Switch your sides. Lean now on your left hip. Let your back leg be away from you, ankle on the floor. And then let this back hip be off the floor as you twist and come this way. Now you might feel different on this side, so take a moment and see. And then lower yourself down. See how this feels? You might not come all the way down, and then push away. Try it again. Lower. The wider your hands are, a little bit more, I don't know, easy, a little bit more range of motion you have. The next time you lower, lift your back knee, and lift and lower the foot. So up, like a seesaw, and down, and up, and down. So you notice that we're doing a bunch of different things that you might not have ever done before, right? So you're doing this funky push-up, and you got this knee lift coming with you. All right, one more time. Good. Now stay here. Now we're going to make this dynamic, okay? So we're going to do the exact same thing on each side. We're just going to move from side to side. So it looks like this. You're going to lower and lift. You're going to land and swing around. And then you're going to lower and lift. You're going to land and swing around. And land. And swing it around and lift. And swing it around. Is this part too crazy? This is incorporating a lot of different things. Okay, a lot of different things. Hips, core, upper body. One more. And then pause. Come back to cobblers. Feet together, close to your body. Hold in the same way you held before and just see what this feels like. Noticing your breath, noticing the heat in your body, and notice if your hip rotation feels any more open. Okay, next one we're going to do is similar to that, but we're just going to use one arm. We're going to lean over on this one hand, and I'm going to ask you to kick the leg out to the side. So you can see that I've lowered myself down on my forearm, so my body is pretty close to being a straight line. All right? And then you're just going to switch, land on this forearm, straighten that leg away. So it's very similar to what we were just doing, just a little variation. And then we're just going to switch it. Up and over, kick. Up and over, kick. Up and over, kick. Up and over, kick. Keep going. You can slow it down, or you can move it faster. And you can see that I've got my hand on the floor, but I'm not really resting on it so much. You can keep moving. It's like you're giving your little hips a massage at the same time you're working them, which makes it really interesting for your body. Your muscles woke up and said, hey, what's going on? What's this fun movement you're doing? I've never done this before. Super energizing. All right, one more time. And release. I like that one. That's a favorite. And bring your legs back together. Come back to check. Oh, this is starting to feel better. My feet can come closer. My knees are lower. My heart feels lighter. Can you tell? Alrighty. The last one we're going to do here, and then the next two are standing, is we're not going to use our arms. And this one's a little bit harder. So we're going to go back to that zigzag pose that we did in the beginning, but pretend you can't land on the floor. Pretend that there's something on the floor that you don't want to touch, like something gooey. And you're just going to keep your hands up and you're going to switch. And then you're going to switch. And you're going to switch. And then again, you can go faster or slower, but you don't touch the floor. All right? And you're just pretending if your fingers touch the floor, they get all full of goo and you make a big mess. All right? And so you're moving from one side to the other. This is the last one like this. And this is core. So if you're not touching the floor, your core is working really hard to hold you up and not let you fall down. All right, last couple. And rest. Whew, shake your legs up. All right, let's come to standing. And this next one, you're going to use blocks if you have them. I highly recommend it because of the action that I want you to have in your legs. So I want you to set yourself up so that your hands are about under your shoulders and your feet are underneath your hips. And soften your knees, okay? Feet are close together here, so you've got a base of support. And just watch that your arms don't lose the stability. You want to hold these blocks in place. Alrighty, bend your knees. Take your left leg back behind you and turn the ankle up to the ceiling. So you're sideways in your leg. And then bend both knees and curl the knee into the chest. Push away, straighten both legs. Bend both legs. Straighten, bend. Straighten, bend. Keep going. And your bend might actually come up on the ball of your other foot. Bend, straighten, lift. So if your heel comes off, you're actually moving through your quadricep a little bit deeper. You don't have to do that. Just a little action. One more, we're going to hold right there. And keeping that leg up, going up nice and high. I want you to notice the line between my foot and my head is straight and I don't have my leg down here. See if you can hold that and see if you can take your left hand off the block, bring it to your heart. Keep lifting your right or left leg as you open the left chest. This is half moon pose, not for the weak of heart. Keep lifting the back leg up, up, up. Both hips are working really hard here. And then as you exhale, release the hand, release the legs, come next to each other, sit back into a squat and come to standing. All right, that was fun. Now we're going to do the other side. Alrighty, so hands on the blocks, feet together, bend your knees, extend your spine, take your right leg back, and as you lift the back leg, you're going to straighten the left. Okay, sideways leg, strong standing leg. Bend your knee and bring it into the chest, and then push it away and lift. Then bring it into the chest. Keep breathing. It's a flowing motion. It's not hard so much as it is about focus and balance. Remember, you can come off that back standing heel to make your leg move a little bit more through the quadricep. You don't have to. One more, we're gonna hold it right there. Again, check that you're dropping the leg, and then see if you can come off your right hand to your heart. That's your first action. And then lifting the right hand up to the sky is your second. Breathing, keeping both legs really active. Okay, both legs straight, both legs long. One more breath here. And then bring your hand to the block. Bring your feet together. Sitting down into that squat, coming to stand. You should have felt that. Hips, core. Okay, we have one more. And this is just freestanding. Asking a little bit more about that rotation. So feet are apart. Look down that they're lined up. And then I want you to bend your knees so that your knees hover right over your ankles. They're not falling inward. They're over your ankles. And your inner arches feel like they're lifting. Okay? And you're sitting in something that you can manage. Now, draw the belly up. Take the tailbone down. So this part of your lower body is really stable. And we're just going to lift up, and then we're going to bend over to one side. And lift up and bend to the other side. Notice I'm actually coming lower as I bend. Now maybe you're stronger, and the second hand can sweep forward and go to the opposite knee, which is a little bit more deep, a little less supported. Good, one more side. You can hear my breath is up. And exhale. Good. Hands come to the tops of the thighs. I want you to lean forward. Push this right leg, left leg away as you twist and look over your right shoulder. Inhale and come around. Push your right leg away. Look over your left shoulder. And do that again. This is a rest here. Working on strength and stability at the same time for the hips. Okay, now, when you lean forward, it's easier. So bring your body back up, pull the belly in, energize yourself up and down. Now lift the heel and lower, and lower. Lift and lower. Keeping the knees moving outward. Keep trying to move them toward the wall behind you. And you're just moving through this lower range, noticing how I'm not lifting my head. Now see if you can do both heels. Just for 5. This is 3. This is 2. And this is 1. Come to standing. Turn your feet forward and slide down to stretch. Your hands can be on your ankles, or they can be out on the floor in front of you. You can imagine moving your fingers forward and moving your hips back. Let your head be between your arms and breathe. As you feel ready, start to make your way to the floor. Knees come down. And just as a final rest, come to child's pose. Just let yourself recover. And then finally, come to cobbler's pose again one last time. Remember, this is our check-in. Holding the toes, lifting the heart, feeling the legs. Now, just notice mobility of the hip, maybe feeling a little bit more stable and grounded. A lot more energy in the hips and the hip sockets. Working a lot of the rotational muscles of the hips today in this kind of fun Fab 5 hip series. So thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And look for more of these muscle-centric actions where we develop muscles in a little bit of a different way, in a unique way, and help ourselves to build more muscle, feel more vitality and alive. Again, thanks so much. Remember to please subscribe to my channel. The button, I think, is just below. And leave a comment. Let me know, did you think this was fun? Did you think it was too hard? Do you want to see more of what I'm doing? Just let me know. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.